It's Chris Byer,
Chris Bowling.
ACB.
So,
Third week of November, moving along.
moving along.
I know we've been meeting with our clients for the calendar year renewal the last couple of months, but today I wanted to talk more about how the CFO or owner or president of the company is preparing their budget for their health plan for 2025. So I think, so often if you are a fully insured employer, which many of our clients still are, it's simple. You figure out your premiums, you figure out what percent or contribution you want your employees to pay. We've got tools that quickly break that out to say, this is the employer cost, this is the employee cost. So that's easy. I mean,
Right.
that one is pretty simple. When we start working with self-funded employers, there's so many different components of what actually goes into the cost of the plan plus the budget.
Yeah.
We're spending a lot more time helping employers predict where that cost is going to be next year so that they can set the right rates, set the right budget, and actually have something to measure.
Yeah. It's gotten very sophisticated.
Yeah.
There's so many things that go into that budget. And I think what we've gotten really good at is not just taking the numbers and saying, here's your total spend. It's now you're starting to look at trend factors, start
Mm-hmm.
trending that forward. And then, of course, we have clients that have different contribution models throughout really throughout the country because, of course,
Yep.
trend is different in certain areas. So, yeah, it's the spectrum is really simple to
Yes.
extremely sophisticated.
And I think some of our, larger multi-state self-funded employers, you mentioned that they are sometimes building different benefit plans for each state or location based on where their population is. And they're also tracking a budget for that division or that location separate from another one. And
Yes.
I like that. That's my accounting mind when I start to think about
Right.
how do we set a budget? And this is what we're expecting, and can we improve it? Because all of our tools, all of our resources to control cost and make the benefits better for employees, hopefully bring them in under budget. But we do have to help that company understand, is that division helping or hurting the overall performance of your benefit plan?
Yeah.
I would say one thing that's changed for us this cycle, we've had quite a few different tools where we can model scenarios out, but those are almost static models.
Hmm.
So we say we want to investigate this plan design with this contribution, show us what that means for the company, and we get the report. Where I think this year we've been doing more, I would just say live sessions with our clients. Say, all right, here's the model, but tell me what you want to see. Do you want to increase it? Do you want to decrease it? And we could watch that change live. And I think it's been more efficient in making decisions and moving forward with the budget for the next year.
I would say the majority of our self-funded clients, we have done that virtually because we want it on the fly. We want to be able
Yeah,
to
screen share.
screen share it, and it's way easier to use your cursor versus I'm reaching across the table. No, I'm talking about right there.
Yes. It's back to what we talked about, last week, the paper process. We still have our in-person renewal meetings,
100%.
but
Yeah.
we've got to utilize technology. I know we have somewhere we're putting up the diagram on the screen because exactly it is so hard if you've got 5 or 6 people around the table to keep them on line 7 looking at this number. And yeah, it's just I recognize how difficult we made it before we started to use technology.
100%. But yeah, this is the part that I think both of us enjoy the most is getting into
Yeah.
the tools and really figuring out, okay, if this trend continues, what are we going to do different?
Yes.
You and I say this every day. You can't hide from your claims. So
Yes.
if we're not addressing your claims, this budget's just going to get worse and worse.
So I met with a client this week to do a little bit of a tune up on a couple of last questions that they had. And their CFO had gone back and looked at their company budget from 2014, what they were allocating per employee for benefits cost, and now what they're planning for 2025. It was 7% less in 2025 than it was in 2014. So we were looking through all of the different levers that they pulled in the last 10 plus years. They're pretty much doing everything that we would say a high performing plan should do. It was awesome to see that because we had not been working with them in 2014, to
Sure.
know those numbers. So that was really cool. But that was a perfect example where if the CFO knows the budget, they can track their internal metrics and actually make good decisions for their organization.
That's a success story. That's
Yes, absolutely.
fun.
Thanks, CB. Good to
Thank
connect again.
you. Yep. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right.